Well, President Obama is pressing ahead with plans for an endgame in Afghanistan. He met yesterday at the White House with visiting Afghan President Hamid Karzai and announced that the U.S. military transition is already underway.
Our troops will continue to fight alongside Afghans when needed, but let me say it as plainly as I can. Starting this spring, our troops will have a different mission: training, advising, assisting Afghan forces.
The plan is to have most of American troops out of Afghanistan by the end of next year. Let's get a sense of how this could shake out from a journalist who has spent a great deal of time in Afghanistan, Dexter Filkins. He is a Pulitzer Prize-winning war correspondent, staff writer for The New Yorker magazine. He joins us live from Tampa, Florida this morning. Good morning, Dexter.
Hi.
So the president did announce that the timetable has shifted. The withdrawal will begin a bit earlier. What does this mean for the stability of Afghanistan?
Well, nobody knows. I mean, I think, look, we've been there for 12 years, right? We've spent $500 billion. We've lost 2,000 people, American people. Everybody wants to get out, but all this is now the end game, and nobody really knows what's going to happen. We're going to find out. I mean, I think it's hard to predict the future, but when you go to these places, when you go out to where the Afghan troops are fighting, it's pretty fragile right now.
Well, can Hamid Karzai's government keep al-Qaeda at bay without 66,000 American troops on the ground?
Al-Qaeda is not a big problem in Afghanistan. They're gone. We've succeeded in that area. We've gotten rid of them from Afghanistan. Most of them are in Pakistan. I think the question is,
well, the White House has been concerned about some of those safe havens and Al-Qaeda working with the Taliban, which still is supporting Al-Qaeda.
Well, I mean, if you look way back to when this war started, I mean, that's where it all began, right? You had a Taliban government in Kabul, and they let Al-Qaeda in. And so that's basically the concern. What happens if the Taliban comes back?
Dexter, if we've effectively beaten Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, why do we need to be there?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. I think, again, if you look back 2001 when we went to war after 9/11, we were going after Al-Qaeda, and we went after the government that was giving them sanctuary, which was the Taliban. We took down that government, and then we've tried for the last 12 years to put something in its place. We've tried to build a government and build a state that would stand on its own. It's a very hard country. We haven't really done a very good job of doing that. And so the question that everybody should be asking themselves is, you know, can this thing which we've built stand on its own? And nobody knows that right now. We're going to find out.
Well, how secure do you think Karzai is if U.S. support effectively pulls out?
Well, we're going to find out. I mean, I think right now, if you look at the plan is the Americans come out now, you know, pretty rapidly. Well, they'll be. We don't know how many by the end of 2014. There'll be no Americans fighting. The question is, how many troops are going to stay behind? President Obama hasn't decided yet. But right now, what you're talking about is it looks like the Afghan government can kind of hold the cities. The Taliban are in a lot of places in the countryside. So again, it's going to be how well can the Afghan army do when we're not around in any great numbers. And again, when everything looks good on paper, it always does. It's just, you know, last year I went to a number of the places where the Americans and the Afghans were fighting together. And, you know, when you're in Kabul and when you're in Washington, everything sounds great. But when you get out there in the field, it doesn't always look as good.
Dexter Filkins, thank you.